Good day, mate. I'm FPL Root, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another FPL video. In today's video, we're going to be looking back at Game Week 21 team and how I got on. And we're also going to be looking forward to the Game Week 22, looking at my transfers, and there will be a few, and a potential chip that will be in play. So let's move on to my Game Week 21 team. So in the end, it wasn't a bad game week. I did get a green arrow. Only an 8k green arrow, but a green arrow is a green arrow. And ended up with 77 points. So yeah, not too bad at all. And it has increased my rank, obviously only 8k, but yeah, like I said, a green arrow is a green arrow. So starting off, we do have Edison in goal. So yeah, really happy with that one. Nice clean sheet against Wolves. And then again, the Newcastle boys, like I feel like I'm just repeating myself every time I do one of these videos, but they're just incredible. I know they conceded the other day in the League Cup, but in the league they've just been like they've been so good, honestly, defensively. Okay, maybe the goals haven't been there recently, but defensively they look so solid. And I just can't see myself going into the future and the rest of the season without two of their defenders. And yeah, Botman got a 6-pointer, and then Trippier picks up the free bonus, even though he did get a yellow card. Like, amazing. Ben White, 0 points. So pretty disappointed, although Arsenal wouldn't have kept a clean sheet anyway. He did come off after 45 minutes and he did get a yellow card, so ended up on 0 points. And I am a little bit worried about the future now, as Tomiyasu did come in and play very well and done a really good job against Rashford on that side of the pitch. Yeah, so I wouldn't be bringing in Ben White if you did have him, but at the same time, I'd probably have to keep him. For the midfield, again, one of the most disappointed areas of my team. So Martinelli, another blank. That's 3 in a row now. Yeah, didn't really look as threatening as Saka and Odegaard and Nketiah did in that game against Man United. But yeah, just one of them ones. For his price, you can't complain too much about kind of 3 blanks in a row. Hopefully he can pick it up in the next game week. Also another disappointment, Almiron. So he did get the clean sheet points. He ended up on 3. Again, pretty disappointed, but and 4 blanks in a row for Almiron. And this is the only time I've owned him all season, and he's got 1 goal in since the World Cup. So yeah, not great there. Rashford does the business. Yeah, goal against Arsenal, really good goal too. 7 points, but most people have Rashford now, so not anything to write home about. Salah, another letdown. Only positive is he got the clean sheet point, so he's on 3 points. But yeah, Salah's been awful again. I've had him pretty much all season, and he might get the odd 2 goals or the odd double-digit haul, but it's not good enough. And it doesn't even look like scoring. That's the worrying thing. Like, if he's getting chances and missing them, then fair enough. But yeah, he doesn't even look like scoring. And then Andreas did come off my bench as Martial didn't play for a 2-pointer against Spurs. Yeah, nothing else to comment on there. My strikers, so Harry Kane, nice goal against Fulham. Bit disappointed he didn't get any bonus points for a winning goal in a 1-0 win. A little bit confused, but yeah, happy with the goal. And yeah, Erling Haaland, absolute machine, hat-trick, free bonus, 60 minutes played. Happy days, captain. I know a lot of people didn't captain him, and they might have captained De Bruyne instead. Or I know some people even captained Rashford, but mainly De Bruyne. And yeah, that is really rough. I feel like as soon as you doubt Haaland, he'll bang a hat trick. So for me, it's just looking like permanent captain. But yeah, maybe not this week. We'll see. So before we move on to the second part of the video, where I go through my Game Week 22 transfers and potential chip in play, if you could all just do me a massive favor and please like this video. Let's try and hit 50 likes to this video. It would be amazing. And also, if you are new around here, please subscribe to the channel. I will be releasing 2 to 3 videos every single week on top quality FPL content to help you gain rank and win your mini leagues. So yeah, hit that subscribe button and yeah, make sure you like the video too. Cheers. So now we'll move on to my game week 22, double game week 22 team. So in goal, I have gone for Edison. Although he does have Spurs away, Leicester haven't been doing that great since the World Cup, so I don't feel comfortable enough to be playing Ward, who does have Villa away. So Edison it is for me. For the defence, I have gone for Kieran Trippier to start. West Ham at home does look like a really, really good fixture for a really, really good Newcastle defence. They've been keeping clean sheets basically almost every week this season. And yeah, I fancy them to keep a clean sheet against West Ham, although West Ham did have a good result in the cup recently with Antonio and Bowen scoring a goal each. So West Ham could be on their way back, but I still fancy Newcastle to be too strong for them. Also, in the defence, I've decided to start Ben White, Everton away, although they may have a new manager bounce with Sean Dyche taking over at Goodison Park. I don't feel like that will mean they will suddenly score goals. Dyche is a more pragmatic manager, I'd say, and he'll probably look to shore things up, try and grind out kind of a 0-0 against a good side in Arsenal. And also one of my transfers for this week, potentially, well, almost definitely, is Patterson to Luke Shaw. So Luke Shaw does have that double game week against Palace at home and Leeds at home. Man United have been doing pretty okay defensively, and Luke Shaw can get forward and he can get assists, he can get goals, as we've seen in the past few weeks. So hopefully he does play left back, as that will give him more of an attacking threat. But he actually did score a goal from centre back our post World Cup, so there's always a chance for him. And that was one of my transfers I've made was Patterson to Shaw. Having saying this, that does mean I'm benching Botman, who does have West Ham at home as well as Trippier. For that sake, though, is although I do fancy Newcastle defence, I feel like there's more of an upside to have Shaw in that team and to take a -4, because that's what it was to play Shaw instead of Botman. So now we'll move on to the midfield that has probably let me down in the past few 3 to 4 weeks. So hopefully that can change this game week, as we do have a double game week and we have a couple of players from Man United who do play in that double game week. So my second transfer so far, as that you can see, is Mo Salah to Bruno Fernandes. So Bruno Fernandes does have a double game week as well. Palace at home and Leeds at home. So really, really good double game week for him. Fernandes has been doing really, really well recently. Although he kind of has been going under the radar because Rashford has been on fire. He has been chipping in with goals, with assists, and he's looking pretty sharp. Not back to I'd say his self in his first couple of seasons in the Premier League, but he has been doing really, really well. So 5 returns in the last 5, albeit 3 assists, 2 goals. But yeah, really, really good. Although he is a little bit more expensive than Rashford, so he comes in at 9.9 or 10 million, depending on when you got him. For me, it cost me 9.9. I feel like it's worth it for these 2 really, really good fixtures. I fancy United to score lots of goals, and that's why I'm doubling up on their midfield rather than going for Shaw and say De Gea or Varane. So yeah, that brings me on to the other double game week player. So Rashford, again, great fixtures. Also on Rashford, he could be a potential triple captain. So we'll talk about that later on in the video, but just keep that in mind. Next to him, I have decided to start Almiron, West Ham at home. It probably will be Almiron's last week in my team, so hopefully he can go out with a bang. I feel like his place is starting to kind of slowly slip away from him with the Newcastle buying Anthony Gordon. Isaac can play there as well. St. Maximum is kind of back from injury, so I feel like Almiron days are numbered, and Newcastle do blank in game week 25 too. So as they did, as they are through to the League Cup final. So that is something to bear in mind too. Martinelli completes the midfield. Everton away, like I said, a really, really good fixture. Although he has blanked in his last three, I do fancy him to do well in this game, and I'm pretty confident he will start, as Trossard did start the FA Cup game against Man City. So far, my team is basically Man United, Newcastle, and Arsenal, which is perfectly fine for me as they are three of the top four, and then I've got Ellison in goal, who's second in the league. So pretty good for me for that. But yeah, we'll move on to the forwards and see where I've gone if I'm playing my triple captain and what my thoughts are around that. So now we'll move on to our forwards. We'll start with the new boy in our team, Eddie Nketiah. So he has come in for Martial. That does also mean I can get 3 Man United players that will probably play. Although Martial is back in training, I just don't trust him to play both games, and I don't want him to take up a Man United spot when I can get 3 players that are probably as much certain as you can get to start both games. So that's why I have gone Nketiah. I haven't just gone Nketiah for the Everton game, which is a really, really great fixture. Arsenal do double in game week 23. So that is a nice early move, and it means I'm tripling up on that Arsenal double game week. Also, alongside the new boy, we've got 2 of the hottest and best strikers around at the moment. So Erling Haaland, just coming off that hat trick in the last game week against Wolves. Although he does have Spurs at home, where City have failed to win at the Spurs' new stadium and failed to score a goal there. I feel like this game will have goals. As we saw in the reverse fixture only a week or so ago, Tottenham went 2-0 up, and then Man City pulled it back in the second half and scored 4 goals, so 6 goals in total in that game. Although there was only 1 goal for Haaland, I do fancy him to get on the score sheet in this game, but not enough for me to put my captain's armband on him. Harry Kane, I've decided to play. I know a lot of people are benching Kane and Haaland this week, which honestly absolutely baffles me. Like I said, they're the 2 deadliest strikers in the Premier League at the moment, and they can score against anyone. Kane's shown that throughout the years, and Haaland, although he doesn't have the best record against the stronger teams this season, he has scored a hat-trick against Man United, and he did get that goal against Spurs a week and a half ago, but he did blank against Liverpool. He has blanked against Chelsea too, so his record doesn't look that great, but I do fancy him to get a goal. In terms of captain, this is where it gets a bit tricky. So for me, Rashford is my captain, but I need to kind of make the decision on whether to triple captain him. I was earlier on in the week, and last week it was probably 90% I was going to captain and triple captain Rashford, but I'm slowly talking myself out of it. I just kind of, during my last video, if you haven't seen that, check that out. Question times where I answer questions from the community. I was speaking about triple captain and when and who it should be played on. And I was looking at kind of Rashford and Haaland next week, where Haaland doubles as well. And I don't really fancy Haaland in that double game week, but at the same time, Rashford does have great fixtures this double game week, 2 home games. He is on fire. But the thing I found was Rashford kind of gets a goal a game, which is like, don't get me wrong, it's nothing to turn your nose up at a goal a game. And if he does get 2 goals, then great. And he is a midfielder, so he does get that extra point. But for me, Haaland can score hat tricks. He can basically get 6 goals in 2 games if he does have a game week. But for me, it's not game week 23. But I feel like, how can I not play my triple captain on Haaland in a season where he's got 25 goals and he's played 17 games. It just doesn't feel right with me, although it's a really, really great double game week for Rashford. 2 home games. He is, yeah, like I said, playing really well, but there's just something inside of me that's saying, how can you sometimes you've got to keep it simple. Like, who's the best goal scorer in the league? Erling Haaland. Why are you not using a chip that triples his points on him? It just doesn't make sense. Um, this could this could change. I have took myself out of it and I've took myself into it. At the moment, I'd say I'm 60% saving it for a Haaland double game week later on in the season, which is likely to happen as City are still in the FA Cup. But I am 40% on putting it on Rashford, and I probably won't decide until right before the deadline. So, but I will be announcing it on my Twitter. So definitely follow me on Twitter at FPL if you haven't already. I'm also on TikTok as well, so give me a follow on there. And yeah, leave a comment below. Are you using your triple captain? What are your chances for this week? And is it worth a -4 to bring in a double game week player? And please make sure you hit that like button too. And I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.